Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars. Let rain fall, let rain
And good morning. Welcome to Today at the Races, presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, along with our odds maker, Keith Fusel. It's a beautiful Sunday as we get you ready for an afternoon of racing. 11 live races this afternoon. Sunday brunch is getting ready for you. We're off the turf today. The rain got us again last night. We have two nice stake races to find in the All Brandy next Saturday on the turf. That's part of our big Maryland Pride Day. A couple other nice dirt stakes next Saturday. So they have to keep the turf ready for next weekend. So we're off the turf today.
Yeah, and we couldn't escape it. Last night we had another pretty good downpour for a couple hours in this area, and we have to, be smart about it, be safe for the horses, jockeys, everybody involved. And the footing out there a little bit too soft, a little too soft today. We'll get back at it. It looks like early part of next week looks really good. So hopefully we'll have a nice firm turf course when we get back here on Friday.
And in this game, you're always looking to the future, right? That's the biggest thing about horse racing. You live in the future, so we're living in the future. Hopefully, we're due for a beautiful weather day next Saturday, just like we have today. We have beautiful weather today. We have this kind of weather all week, and then next Saturday we'll have a beautiful day for Maryland Pride. But lots to get to today. But real quick, yesterday we saw a couple special performances. Divining Rod for Delacour in the Polynesian, and then Divining Rod, then Shimmering Aspen, the filly, in the Twix Stakes. A couple powerhouse performances yesterday.
I mean, both super strong. Divining Rod, looks like he hasn't missed a beat. And kudos to Delacour, the way he's handled the horse.
Yep.
And we were talking about that up in the press box. Patient, off of a break, going through the allowance races, and then into a stake. Not just jamming the horse right back in graded company. Comes back, it's a little softer spot yesterday. He's going to move on to bigger and better things. He commented, thinks the horse might be better now than he's ever been. Preliminary buyer of a 105. Shimmering Aspen, a 98. Both are similar kind of trips. Shimmering Aspen sat inside, then tipped out and went with a 5-wide move to go clear and really looked good. Much improved buyer for her. She's showing she's a top flight sprinter.
I was thinking that for both of them, they had to be at least a 90 plus. You said 105.
105 for Divining Rod.
That's pretty impressive in a $75,000 stake here.
And he did it with something left.
Yeah.
He just pretty much, I don't want to say motionless, gave him his cue. And once he leveled, I talked about in the footnote, he went to that correct lead nearing the 8th pole, and he got into a stride. It's as smooth as I've seen in a while.
So according to the Noach team, next for Divining Rod, maybe the Kelso up there in New York. If he comes out of this race really good from yesterday, maybe the Forgo in a couple weeks up there at Saratoga. So we'll keep you updated on Divining Rod. But how good is Shimmering Aspen? The Philly said 98 buyer for her. She might not have been good enough for the grade 2 company in the Black Eyed Susan, but I think she might be at that level now.
She's certainly moving to it. She's close. And like I say, at that particular distance, stretching out a little bit further, she probably can, depending on the company. But it looks like her run and her impact is perfect at that 6.5, 7 furlong distance, maybe right up to a mile.
All right, so even though we were off the turf yesterday, some nice stake races. Our handle was up yesterday. Some big price winners we had yesterday. So still some nice wagering opportunities for you today, even though we're off the turf. And how about that? Nice little carryover building in the Rainbow Pick 6. That's going to start race 6 today on the 11-race program. A little over $2,400 in the Rainbow Pick 6. We'll talk about that later on. Also, guess what time it is, Keith? Time for Sunday brunch.
Yes.
We can smell it from down here at the paddock, Garden Terrace, right up there in the clubhouse. $22 per person, noon to 4 up there in the Garden Terrace. Or you can sit right there in Tips by the windows, trackside window there, or Tycoon. So Sunday brunch, also mimosas, Bloody Marys, if you like. That's all cooking for you today here at Laurel Park.
I like to say, no, I'm starving. I could take a plate right up to the press box after this. Be perfect.
All right, they'll be getting it. It'll be ready by the time we're done the show. It'll be ready a couple minutes. Noon. Sunday brunch starts. Also later on today at 4 o'clock, the happy hour up there in the new sports bar on the second floor of the clubhouse. $3 beer, wine, and drink specials from 4 to 7. All the big flat screen TVs up there. Of course, you'll have all the simulcast action, all the sports action as well. So check out the action up there in the sports bar for happy hour today, 4 to 7. So that's what's going on today. We'll get to the races today. Next Saturday is going to be our big day, Maryland Pride Day. We have 4 stake races next Saturday. 4 stake races, the All Brandy, the Find, and then a couple nice dirt sprints as well. 4 Maryland breds. You get a free hat. You buy a program, you get a free Maryland Jockey Club hat next Saturday. That's always a popular giveaway. We're going to have some great Maryland racing, some great Maryland food, and some great Maryland drink. Jailbreak, Flying Dog, Sagamore Spirit. They'll all be here next Saturday.
That hat could be used. Maybe hand a few early out to the Moonrise Festival goers there. A little extra coverage in the sun today in the infield at Pimlico. From what I hear, they might need a little extra coverage.
They might need it over there. They're having a good time. But we'll have a good time next weekend here for Maryland Pride Day. So lots of action. All you tournament players, we have you covered next Saturday as well. This is a big-time tournament. This will be held in the sports bar on the second floor of the clubhouse, the Champions Handicapping Tournament. Over $33,000 in prizes. Also, it's a qualifying event for the National Handicapping Championship, the Breeders' Cup Betting Challenge, the big one. That's going to be a big tournament next Saturday. You can bet the Laurel, also the I'm sure the Saratoga races and Del Mar and top tracks like that are going to be on the wagering menu for next Saturday's tournament.
That should be a good one. And I know a couple players right now, they're heating up, and they're going to be tough in that tournament next week. I'm not going to name names, but they're seeing the ball right now.
All right. We have some good local handicappers here. They had the pick 6 last Saturday here for $15,000. So we have some sharp handicappers right here. You can bet they'll be in the Champions Handicapping Tournament. So that's next Saturday. Let's get right to it. Let's show you the beautiful conditions. Even though we're off the turf, you see that turf there? That'll be ready for you next Friday for the big weekend next weekend. But there's the main track, and beautiful weather conditions today. It was a drying out track yesterday. We went from muddy to good yesterday. It should be a perfect fast track today, though, right?
I'm really impressed. What the crew has done to get this track in the shape that it is in today. I mean, we had that deluge last night. I thought, well, maybe it'll be similar to the Saturday card. It's not. I mean, it's harrowed up and ready to go. And we've got a nice fast track and beautiful skies, blue skies, sun's out. What do we got? Low 80s maybe today, lower humidity.
Not too hot.
So come out and enjoy the races. Get out and watch it live.
All right, let's take a look here. Race 1's going to kick off the early pick 5, just like that late pick 5. Both pick 5s with that industry low 12% takeout. Your best bet's always the pick 5. The early pick 5's a mandatory payout. It starts right here in race 1. This is a nice 7,500 starter allowance event for 3-year-olds and upward, going 5.5 furlongs. I go with the 3. Bay's Odds Pride from the Scott Lake barn. Main track only. This horse was entered main track only, so Scott Lake gets his wish. First off the claim here for this 4-year-old son of First Dude. Nice win against Open Nickel Company last out, so this is a good move. First off the claim here for a barn that's won a few races first off the claim, and he gets the hard Ryan Katie Davis aboard. We'll get it. Well, who knows about the odds here with these races that come off the turf.
Probably going to be in the range, I'd say, of 2-1, 9-5 when it's all said and done. I think Rocky will be even, a little bit shorter than that. But Besides Pride, last time out, talking about the trip that he got, might have been a blessing in disguise when this horse bobbled out of the gate, let the speeds go on, and showed a different dimension when going ahead and closing with a sweeping move to win going clear by a length at the wire, a buyer of 78 that works in this field. He's stepping it up a little bit off the claim, but he catches his short field. Rocky has been pretty steady anywhere he goes. Caught a good one in Waiting on One, a horse that's won a lot of races up at Penn National. He's been a killer up there in those starters. Ran big in a 2 other than. Besides Pride, looking at the race now with a clean break, he looks like he could be the speed. I think Rocky is patient enough, though. He can sit and make a move into this type of horse, one of these two, to get it done in the opener.
I believe I had a rider change on the 2. Rocky. J.D. Acosta will ride for trainer Miguel Penaloza. J.D. Acosta, very good gate rider. So hopefully the inside post shouldn't compromise him too much.
Yeah, he has enough speed. He usually comes away from the gate, going back and watches reruns pretty well. I think he'll be, it'll be interesting to see if Acosta just wants to go because he is pretty quick, or does he allow Bizod's Pride to go cut over and he'll just angle out and take the target and take the measure of that one.
All right, some nice sprinters here. 7,500 starter allowance in the opener to kick off that early pick 5. Mandatory payout on the early pick 5 with that industry low 12% takeout. You like the early pick 4. It starts right here in race 2. A nice group of maiden claiming 40,000 filly and mares going 7 furlongs. Here's your early pick 4 ticket.
Yeah, a couple scratches out of race 2. Scratch the 1, scratch the 6, and scratch the 9. We're going to start at 4 deep, 4, 5, 7, and 8. I'm going against the speed. Moonlighting Magic. I happened to watch that last race last time. I thought she'd hold on a little bit better. She did not. She's going to be the one to catch. I'm going against her. I think she'll be a shorter price as well with the scratches. 3 deep, 8, 9, and 10. The 3 logical horses in race 3. Then we're going to narrow it down Naret and Summer Something in race number 4. Race 5, the 4, and the 7. Can you go to Dame for Willie Key and Forest Boys? Back with Forest Boys. There's plenty of speed in that race. I know it's a shorter field, but everybody kind of, other horses kind of want the front. I think this horse is in for a very good trip. $24 ticket.
All right, affordable play there for the early pick 4. You can see Keith's ticket, my ticket, and Tim Tulloch's ticket on the laurelpark.com website. Just go to the handicapping section to see our tickets and suggested plays of the day. So let's take a look here at race 2. Maiden claiming 40,000, filly and mare 7 furlongs. I go with the outside horse, the 8 Super Stacy. If we get a decent price here on a Linda Rice horse, why not? It's a 3-year-old filly by Super Saver, a decent third last out against Maiden Special Weight Company at Delaware. That was her 3-year-old debut. They tried her long on the turf at Saratoga last year as a 2-year-old, so she's only run 2 times. Lightly raced 3-year-old filly. I think we'll get a decent price here because there's some other horses in here that are going to get bet. My Golden Rose, the 7's going to get bet. The 5 Victory Rally is going to get bet. The 2. So we'll get a decent price here on the 8 Super Stacy. Should get a nice trip on the outside with Caramanos aboard.
Yeah, should get a stalking trip. I don't know if she's as quick as the 2-horse Moonlighting Magic. She'll take the measure of that one, make a move into the pace. Questionable. Getting the distance. The 7 furlongs could be a little bit tricky for some of these. Even My Golden Rose. I mean, she showed speed at a mile and a 16th at Belmont, battled and faded, but you know she had a perfect trip March 18th. Couldn't get by. I guess she's the one to beat. I've got her as the favorite. I'll give Victory Rally one more shot. She came back and failed at 1-2 for Michael Matz off of that break out of that killer race back in February at Gulfstream. Was taken firmly in hand, made a slight middle move, and I don't know what happened. Just didn't kick on. Picks up Cintron today. Nobody's riding better than Alex Cintron right now. I think the 7 furlongs will be an okay fit for the 5 Victory Rally.
I overlooked the filly beaten favored last out at this level, but that was coming off a little fresh. That was only her 2nd career start, and that was coming off a layoff. So now her 3rd start, second race back now this summer. Trainer Michael Match 23% with that move with a positive ROI. So I overlooked the filly, but she could improve here for strong connections. We both like the 4 Derville from the Kathleen O'Connell barn. Fergal Lynch aboard this 3-year-old filly. A good second 2 starts ago up there at Monmouth going 6 furlongs. Didn't like the 2 turns at Parks last out. I love the cutback in distance today. And Fergal Lynch had a nice win yesterday. And I like the 4 Derville. He had a nice price.
Agreed. Hung wide, bad post, turning back in distance to 7 furlongs. Looks right up the alley for Derville, somewhere for mid-pack for that one.
The 7, we both like the 7 here on the outside. My Golden Rose, this horse for Michelle Nevin, a good second 2 starts ago here at Laurel. Didn't run through a clunker last out up there at Belmont, but it looks like it was a pretty tough race. The horse was 10-1 up there. Holy Helena, the winner, came right back to win. So that was a tough race up there. An interesting horse in here. The 9 Loves Legends run a couple strong races off the claim for trainer Edward Mayer. Forrest Boyce rides today. The numbers haven't been that big, so we'll get a big price on this filly today. 3-year-old filly by Not For Love. She's run a couple strong races off the claim. So interesting maiden race. How deep did you go here to kick off the pick 4?
I went 4 deep.
4 deep here?
Yep, 4, 5, 7, and 8.
Okay, all right. Nice maiden race to kick off that early pick 4 there in the 2nd. Let's take a look here at the 3rd. Maiden claiming 16,000, 3 and up. This will be run 1 mile on the main track. 1 mile here for the 3rd race, and I go to the outside with the 8 Centcom from the Ollie Figgins barn. Blinkers off today for this 3-year-old by More Than Ready. Victor Carrasco gets aboard, a decent second last out on the main track, and I think Ollie Figgins gets his wish with this race coming off the turf today here. I like the 8 CENTCOM with the leading rider aboard. 8-10 for both of us.
Yeah, 8-10, 10-8. I think these are the two horses to beat. Break the Mold could go ahead and show the way for a long way. First time reported gelding for the two. Break the Mold, improved effort last time out. A decent third behind the likes of Wild Dynaformer and Earned It, who came back to win. But My High Roller, the 7 furlongs out to a mile now, should be perfect. This horse gets a good tracking pace. Is he going to have that final punch to hold off CENTCOM? I went back and watched CENTCOM's race with the blinkers off. Now the blinkers are coming back off today at Pimlico, and this horse just had a tough trip. Started and stopped a couple times down inside on that sloppy sealed surface, eased out for room upper stretch and had to steady again behind a wall of horses. Got out late, finished up with kick. I think CENTCOM has the best finishing kick in this field.
And you get the leading rider, Victor Carrasco, the 10 My High Roller, 0 for 14. 5-year-old son of Bernardini here for trainer Cal Lynch. She's been hanging around, but the beaten favorite in 2 of his last 3 starts. Looks like he's just likes to, just kind of turn into a professional maiden here.
Yeah, it wouldn't surprise me if he wins. I think clearly those 2 are the horse to beat. If you're looking for the price shot, you've got Cintron on the 9, My Pal Jerry, who does have some dirt breeding in the pedigree. I actually liked the horse last time. Didn't pick it up as much as I thought, but did look. Multiple winning siblings on the dirt.
All right, 1 mile there for race 3 on the main track. Everything on the main track today here, but some of those mile and the 16th turf races go to 1 mile on the main track. So we're going to kick off the middle pick 4 here in race 4, going a flat mile, claiming 10,000 for 3-year-old fillies or older. Filly and mares never won 3, and I go with the 6 here. Summer Something, I think this might be a nice claim for trainer Phil Schoenthal. He claimed this 3-year-old filly by Etch, Maryland bred. She won last out. She was dropped down to that $10,000 level and got the win, and now she's well spotted here. Schoenthal waits the 30 days, jams it right back in for 10,000. He's taking advantage of this dual condition where 3-year-old fillies, they can win 100 races, but they're going against older filly mares that have never won 3. So Summer Something, 4 wins from 10 starts, taking advantage of this dual condition. Xavier Perez aboard. I think this horse will be tough to beat.
She's the horse to beat, and I did not take a look at the Timonium condition book yet, but you claim this horse for 10. She's still got that A other than, right? Maryland Bray at A other than. You thought maybe he would have taken a shot. Coming back for that's my biggest concern for Summer Something. She is the horse to beat. I think she has more speed than anybody in this field. Ask me, I might go ahead and force the issue. I'm going to try to beat her with the 1 Nay Red. I think you're still going to get an okay price on Nay Red. I have 7 to 2 in the morning line. Might be a touch low. I'm not sure, but I think she comes out of a little bit better races. Lemon Lover, experienced mare in her own right. Go back to the Penn National race at a mile. That was not a bad race. I went back and watched that this morning. She was very willing to the wire. Problem was that was a Kreiser horse she hooked. She had a good trip, angled out, and just couldn't kick on with that one. But willing to the wire. 9-time winner she's run against last time, 2 races back. Lemon Lover. She's kept the right company. I think she's going to be okay. I think she can sneak up into a good trip around the turn, get up to the speed, and kind of wear them down late.
All right, so 6-1 for me, 1-6 for Keith. We both like the 2. Crooked, Victor Carrasco aboard for Linda Albert. This horse, a 2-time winner going this 1 mile distance, an okay third last out against tougher starter allowance company. Finds this is the cheapest Crooked's run in a long time since she broke her maiden right here at Laurel Park, going a mile last fall.
Yeah, Crooked, Untaken, who she finished behind last time. Last time I came back and ran pretty game yesterday. I think she's a little bit better on a sloppier, muddier track. She's not going to get that, it looks like, this afternoon, and drops down. They're going to let her go for 10 today, it looks like.
All right, so race 4 will kick off that middle pick 4. Don't forget the late pick 4 today, starting race 8, has that 15% bonus for premier players. Go to guest services to learn more about the late pick 4 bonus today. Let's take a look here at the 5th race, 5.5 furlongs, claiming 25,000 for 3-year-old fillies, or this is kind of a new condition around here. 3-year-old fillies or filly and mares never won 2. So dual condition here, claiming 25,000. The horse I pick on top, taking advantage of that dual condition, the 4 Simply Lucky from the Mike Pino barn. First off the claim here today for Mike Pino. She's a 3-time winner going against older horses that have never won 2. Her last race wasn't very good at all. She's a kind of an in-and-out filly, it looks like. But the last time she threw a clunker, she came right back to win at Parks by 7 lengths. So she threw a clunker last out. Claimed by a good barn who knows how to play the claiming game. Caramanos aboard. She's been working well up there at Park since the claim. A couple bullet works coming into this race. So I'll go with the 4, my top pick here.
Yeah, Mike Pino, he's no stranger to winning some races in Maryland, as you said, kind of an in and outer, but look at those recent works, and they claim for 16, wait, don't hold the level. They're going to go up. So I think Simply Lucky catches a field. You got to scratch the 1, the 3, the 5, and the 6 in here. Catches a shorter field. There is some other speed she's going to have to contend with. Grayvale's pretty quick. Miss Mischievous has got some speed, but I don't even think she necessarily might need it. This indicator here moving up in class with some sharper works looks good, but I think if the things get hot and heavy on the front end, speed's going to come back a little bit. I know a few of them aren't going to last. Candy Coated Dame is going to be the beneficiary. Picks up Forrest Boyce, drops in for a tag. She's going to fit this field to a T.
You'll get a decent price on that one there for the Exacta. Candy Coated Dame I don't use, but we both like the 8 here. Miss Mischievous entered main track only by Donnie Bar Angel Cruz. Will ride a good third last out against Starter Allowance Company. That race may be a little tougher than this race. So Miss Mischievous with that stalking speed on the outside should get a good trip from the 8 hole, I think.
I really think so. Her Laurel Dirt races work. They definitely work. Is she as good? If the Pinot horse shows up, she's going to win. I mean, if she runs those mid-60 numbers, but she floats around those mid-50s, that puts Candy Coated Dame right into the mix. And like I say, I don't think the other speeds are going to hold on. I think she's going to move up into the pace.
All right, let's get a quick commercial break. When we come back, we'll start with the Rainbow Pick 6. That starts in race 6. Nice carryover today, a little over 2,400. We'll start with that right after this. Welcome back today at the races presented by Fidelity First. I'm Stanton Salter, Keith Fustel. It's a beautiful Sunday afternoon of racing here at Laurel Park. We're off the turf, but still some nice wagering opportunities here this afternoon at Laurel Park. We have 11 races. Nice carryover today in the Rainbow Pick 6, a little over 2,400. That's going to start race 6 on the 11-race program. There it is, $2,419 for the Pick 6. There was a single in the last race yesterday for all the money. So if you have 6 winners today, very good chance you might be the only ticket. So jump on in to this Pick 6. It starts in race 6, going 6 furlongs on the main fast track, claiming $5,000 for Philly Marriage. Never won 2 lifetime in this race. I go with the 3, Catch, my top pick in here. But first, let's take a look here. Trainer Dale Capuano has been on a roll this summer, 24% winners. He has a good stat here with his horse, the 7 High Rewards.
Yeah, High Rewards. We're going to show a stat. And I agree with you too, Stan. I like Catch in here. I think Catch, the 6 furlong distance is just up this filly's alley, what she wants to do. Stat on High Rewards, if we got it for Dale Capuano.
Yep.
The past 30 days. There we go. Dale Cap, 5 for 14 and 9 for 14 in the money over the last 30 days at Laurel with an ROI of 468. The barn has come alive everywhere. You can go up the Presque Isle, everything over the course of the last 30 days, 60 days. He's really, really doing well, ramping up for a good summer and into the fall, for finishing up summer and going into the fall for Trainer Dale Capuano. I don't have this filly on top off of that Delaware win last time out. It just suspect. Maiden 10's up there and drops the 5. This is where she belongs. This is, her type of level. But I don't know if she's quite got the finish of Catch turning back. I think Catch and even Beautiful Night Sky, they're out of the same race on July the 8th behind Bring Me Answers, or at least Gimme Kimmy. I think these horses have enough speed to run at some targets, and they'll have the best finishing punch at the 6 furlongs.
That was an impressive stat there for Dale Capuano.
Yeah.
Good to see him heating up. He's won over 3,300 races, so it was just a matter of time before he got on a roll. So I like the 7. I'll use High Rewards and the Exacta, but we both agree here on the 3. I love the cutback in distance. I like the drop here for Ann Merriman. You get the leading rider, Victor Carrasco. This 4-year-old filly's 5 for 10 in the money here at Laurel. So we're both in agreement here.
Her two-back race, I mean, she was making up ground, and Sheldon tried to do the right thing. He dropped down inside. Unfortunately, that part of the racetrack was not really good on the 8th or the 9th of July. It just kind of hindered her run a little bit. So I expect a little bit better punch for her. Beautiful Night Sky. It looks like a claim they just haven't been happy with. Claim for the 10. She ran back, expected more, really failed miserably at even money. But she draws outside. You could see a big sweeping move. Gets his money rider, Edwin Gonzalez, on today.
Beaten favored the last 2 times, even though it's a Kieran McGee dropper. Easy to pick against the money she's burned the last couple races right here at Laurel Park. I use her in my top 3. So we're both in agreement there on the 3. Catch to lead us off in the Rainbow Pick 6 today. That starts in race 6. I like the late pick 5 today. That starts in race 7. No carryover today, but as always, that industry low 12% takeout for that late pick 5. That's more money back to you, the better. I have a ticket here. Let's take a look. There it is. Industry low 12% takeout for the late pick 5. Starts in race 7 today. Let's take a look here at my ticket. A $32 play. Hopefully I'm alive after race 8 because I'm going 4 deep in races 7 and 8. So looking for some prices in those races. Race 9, I'll go with the 2 in the lead from the Shug McGahee barn. And then the 14, Ladies Privilege for Michael Match, draws in off the AE. So I'll use the 2 and the 14 there in race 9. Race 10, our nice allowance feature of the day. The 6, It's the Journey, in fine form right now for trainer Michael Trombetta. This 4-year-old son of Mineshaft's won his last 2 in a row. So I like the 6, It's the Journey. I'll key on that horse. And then going 2 deep there in that maiden 16 finale. Go deeper in the last race if you can afford it. But a $32 play for me there. Late pick 5 starts in race 7. Let's take a look here. So 16,000 starter allowance optional, claiming 16,000 going a flat mile. And I go with the 1, Fergie's Lady. I think Victor Carrasco is going right to the front here on this 3-year-old filly for trainer Claudio Gonzalez. That's what they did 2 starts ago when she broke her maiden here against Maiden 10 going a mile. That starter allowance race last out, a little too tough. She was the favorite in that race, actually. Only got beat a length and 3/4. Not too bad. But I think going back out to a mile, they go right to the front today.
I was completely shocked that she was favored in that race off the maiden score. She had everything her own way when she broke her maiden, and definitely, had plenty left in the tank. But bet down to 5-2 in that field. That kind of shocked me. But I'm back on her today. When in doubt, I guess go Claudio. She's got 1 horse to beat to the front end. That's my sangria when I really break it down. Clairvoyant, I think, will force the issue. But she just hasn't been finishing. I think if Fergie's Lady can clear, I think she can go ahead and dictate.
All right, we're in agreement there as well. Value added for Cali Juarez. You have in the exacta with Xavier Perez. That was a good race 2 starts ago on a fast track. Looks like that filly didn't like the slop last out here at Laurel. Gets a fast track today.
No, and she looks like the legitimate closer in this field. And she, like I say, Fergie's Lady, if she has any kind of blunders coming out of the gate, and Clairvoyant, this rider decides, hey, I'm going to go ahead and apply the pressure.
Right.
The race could fall right into the lap of value added. I agree. That 2-back race was not bad at all. A little bit of trouble with the break. Was hung very wide, turning for home. High Tolerance ran off the screen. I'll toss the last one, making a rail bid on a sloppy sealed surface. This race sets up well for the 4 value added. Yep.
The 11 Clairvoyant's last race wasn't very good at all. Beaten, favored. But she was entered main track only here. The race kind of falls apart. She stays in a soft spot here. So she'll be right there. I go 4 deep in my pick 5 using the 1, 4, 7, and the 11 here in this race. Yeah, maybe it sets up for a nice price. I'll take the 4 value added. Will be a nice price probably there in the 7th race. Let's turn the page. Race 8. We'll kick off the late pick 4. You get a 15% bonus if you hit the late pick 4 today. For all you Premier players, go down to Guest Services. Make sure you're a Premier player. That's free to sign up for. And then you hit the late pick 4 today, starting in race 8, and you get a 15% bonus. You can't beat that. Best deal at the track today. So go to Guest Services to learn more about that. Late pick 4 starts in race 8, claiming 7,500, 3 and up. Haven't won a race in 6 months, going 6 furlongs on the main track. And, well, the 3, Grandy Shores, is going to take a lot of money here. This 9-year-old's made over $650,000. Claim last out for $20,000 by Kieran McGee. Was third that day. Didn't run very, very bad, but Kieran waits the 30 days and jams in for 7,500. This is the cheapest this old class horse has ever run for.
Yep.
I go against the horse with the one Final Form. That's the other logical horse who's in good form right now for trainer Jamie Ness. I don't like the inside post of the one Final Form. But, yeah, it's something maybe a little suspicious here with the big drop with the 3 Grandy Shores.
Yeah, and Boyce stays. Boyce has been riding this horse, so it's awfully interesting. And like I said, gets the 75, not just an open 75, but an open 70. I mean, a 75 condition race. All or nothing, I guess. I know we use that phrase all the time, but, I mean, that looks like the case for Grandy Shores. All he's got to do is kind of come close to his last couple of races. I know Final Form has been running out of town, kind of, his first start at Laurel. He's down inside. He'll get a good stalking trip. I think King's House could take the field, and if any of these 2 horses have a hiccup, could go a long, long way. First time for Cartagena. A slight bump up off the claim. Ring Collector got hammered down in that allowance race. Well, they didn't get hammered too much, but I mean, got bet a little bit in the allowance race. Didn't run real well, but I'm not worried about that. I think this horse, there's not much speed. I mean, just goes right to the front and goes a long way.
All right, so 1-3 for me, 3-1 for Keith. I like the 6 in here. Drive at Night, big effort last out. Got a 73 buyer speed figure when he rallied from off the pace to win in the slop, going 7 furlongs. Caramanos rides today. Caramanos won on this horse last March. He's a 3-time winner here at Laurel Park. He had a long spell there where he was running well but not winning, picking up checks. Now he's been he gets to the winner's circle. He's won 2 of his last 4 races. Stepping up in class today, though, but we'll get a nice price on the 6.
Yeah, shocked. I didn't know where that race came from last time. A big jump up in the figs. Maybe just relish the slop. He does seem to run a little bit better on a sloppy sealed surface. Dukin with Dale, another one. He's going to get a good stalking trip. I think he may even get first run on the speed of King's House. Willing back quickly. Just ran on August the 6th. We're back here in a week. Didn't run terrible on that yielding turf course. Should build up the stamina. Probably hadn't done a whole lot. Will be fresh right out of the box. And Stalks makes a move. Will he be able to kind of sustain? That's the question. He's got races on his page that can get it done.
All right, I'm 4 deep on my pick 5 here in this race. The 1-3. If either one of those 2 get beat, or if they both get beat, it'll be a big blow up here in this price. The 6 and the 7, the 5, even with the shot, maybe Victor Carrasco aboard there for Cartagena on King's House. So nice, a tricky 7,500 beaten race there with a heavy favorite in there. But imagine if Grandy Shores still has some of that back class, and now he's eligible for those 7,500 starter allowance races the next couple of years.
You never know. I mean, but like I say, when we've said it before, when you're a trainer of his capacity, now you can do that. You can do those kind of moves.
Right.
So, yeah, you want to try me is what he's going to say. So, yeah, Grandy Shores and the 1. That's a tough race. Like I say, you got 2 horses legitimately that can run well for 10, 12, 5.
Yep.
Even maybe a little bit more, and they're in for the 75 condition. Yeah, you get them beat, you blow it up.
All right, let's take a look here. Race 9, we're going on 1 mile on the main track. 1 mile here for this filly and mare first level allowance contest. Here we have a video spotlight of the 6, Greek Mythology. You believe I left the 6 out of my top 4 all together. I left Arnaud Delacour out of my top 4. Look at this.
Let me take your temperature, son.
Leaving
out Delacour?
I left out Delacour. It's a tough race here. It's a well-bred 3-year-old filly by Medaglia d'Oro. She handles maiden special weight company here, going long on the turf in debut. Now she tries the main track here against Allowance Company, her second start today.
Yeah, man. She had her ready to go. Centano had to wait for room. You saw there at the quarter pole. Finds a seam and just kind of accelerates pretty nicely on the yielding ground. You don't see horses kind of finish up like that on that softer going. She really, really liked it. Lemon Drop Kitty came on nicely at the end. I'm not worried about the transition to the main track for Greek Mythology. Went back and looked at the breeding. Half to a horse by the name of Devious at 10-4 for 16 on the dirt. Made close to 300,000. Had another, I think, a full sis was a 2-time winner. That was sprinting. This horse looks like the route of ground is not going to be a problem. Miles should be perfect. I'll take Greek Mythology in race number 9.
I'm foolish to leave that horse out of my top 4. I just like for the 3 or 4 other fillies better in this race. It's actually still a nice race on the main track. Let's take a look here at the 2 in the lead. You like this filly as well. She's by Tappet, the world's top sire here. Sire Divining Rod, the stakes winner yesterday. And this filly was ready to go for the Hall of Famer Shug McGahee in her debut going long on the turf against Maiden Special Weight here at Laurel. She won. She beat West Coast Bias and Kitten Smitten, who both came back to win after that race. Forest Boy stays aboard. She's been winning a bunch of races for McGahee this summer, and I'll go with the 2. Another, a bunch of well-bred fillies in here. The 2 by Tappet. Your pick, the 6 by Medaglia d'Oro. And how about the 14, Ladies Privilege, who draws in for Mats on the outside? She's by Harlan's Holiday. So nice race still here on the main track.
The one horse we haven't commented on, the only horse that's really proven on the main track is Tis a Diamond, right? When you break it down and look at it, I don't think you can kind of leave her out at all.
What happened last time?
She just stumbled, went to her nose. Really bad. It's bad stumble at the break. Pretty much lost all chance. You go back, the race behind, good second behind Bombshell. All she did was come back and win the 2 other than at Laurel the other day.
I respect her. I used the 3 in my in my top 3 there. It's a nice allowance. Filly and mare feature there to go in a mile on the main track. A bunch of well-bred fillies in there. Let's turn the page here. The feature actually is race 10. This is a 2 other than upper-level allowance feature of the day. Optional claiming 25,000, going 6 furlongs, and a bunch of sharp horses in here. The 5 Negrito, how about that sharp win first off the claim for the newborn Claudio Gonzalez. Negrito, an 8-time winner here at Laurel Park. The 6-year-old's made over $250,000, but I think the Maryland bred, It's the Journey, 4-year-old by Mineshaft. I think this horse is in very good form right now for Trombetta. This horse has won his last 2, 7 for 11 in the money here at Laurel. Cintron will ride. Should get a nice stalking trip on the outside. You go with Negrito. That's going to be the horse to beat. This is going to be an old-fashioned slugfest between 2 nice sprinters here with the 5 and 6.
Yeah, Trombetta's done a nice job with It's the Journey. He's really found his form. 91 and a 90 buyer paired back up. 2 big numbers. Worked through the conditions. Got that state-bred condition out of the way, 2 back than the regular. Other than he's going to have to see if he can make it 3 tries like that in a row. He's going to have his A game again, because Negrito back in the home, back home with Claudio. Nice little 25-point jump back up in the numbers from June 23rd, first off the claim to July the 9th. That's the way he does it, and he's going to do it again. I believe he's going to maybe prompt the pace. I don't know if he's going to go right to the front. It's the Journey. Even Stolen Love, the stablemate, has some speed and probably will go ahead and get sent for early position. But I think Negrito, I think he can make it 2 straight from just off of it.
It's a nice allowance feature of the day here, 3/4 on the main track. I think, I could be wrong, but I think I had a late scratch on the 4 yellow chips in here.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, all right, so the four is out. Yeah. Okay, all right, so take the 4 down there. Daily News coming off the layoff here for Katie Voss. This horse loves it here at Laurel Park. 8 for 12 in the money with 4 wins. Katie Voss had a nice first out winner a couple days ago with that 4-year-old. Daily News by Jumpstart's been working well here at Laurel. It wouldn't surprise me if this always been a big, good-looking horse. If he's ready to roll off the layoff, could be ready to go here. But he finds a tough condition coming off the layoff.
Made a nice score on him when he broke his maiden, if I remember
Daily
correctly.
News?
Yeah, a decent price. Might have been 2nd or 3rd out. But yeah, I mean, Nickerodelic Roxas in there, Worley Speed, Bethel Wildcat, Lanier. Okay, horses. But once again, he's going to have to jump up a little bit. To get the best of a couple of these other horses in here.
All right, nice group of upper-level allowance sprinters in race 10 to kick off the late daily double. Hope you're alive and all your will pays going into race 11. It'll be run 1 mile on the main track. The whole day is on the main track. Maiden claiming 16,000, 3 and up, and I go with the 1 Bungalow. I'm just not too crazy about the 5 and the 6 who are going to be your favorites in here, so I go with a little bit of a price with the 1 Bungalow. 3-year-old gelding by Preakness winner Shackelford. The debut didn't go too well. I was against Maiden, 25,000. They bet the horse down to about 3-1 that day. He showed a little early speed and then just kind of packed it in. Since that July 8th debut, the horse has worked, 4 times up there, one at Delaware, Fair Hill, and you see a bullet at Delaware and a bullet at Fair Hill. So this gelding's been training well since the debut. Maybe they go right to the front on the stretch out and keep going here with the bug weight, 114 with Costrenzi aboard.
Didn't get away too well in that debut and was caught up in between horses when dueling. Usually not the easiest of trips. I think he will go ahead and set sail. Chaco, man, he's shown an ability to come from just off of it and run okay numbers that work. I mean, it really looks like the 5, 6 1 and 4 when you really all break it down. We've got a lot of scratches in race 11, but I think Chaco Mount can kind of maybe put away Bungalow, have to look in the rearview mirror because Sunset Arch will be making a run at him. Chaco Mount got him by neck last time. It may be a similar situation today.
Any crazy long shots in here? I throw the 9 Firewaltz in there. Carlos Quinones on this 3-year-old by Frisian Fire. Hasn't run a lick yet. Showed a little speed in that race, 2 back. Maybe didn't like the turf last out. Now gets back to the main track today. But a soft group here in the finale. That's why I take a little bit of a shot with the 1. But the 5 and the 6 allowed to go horses to beat there in race 11. Dave Robin, he's coming up next with all of today's scratches and changes. Beautiful weather. Come on out. Enjoy the nice weather. Sunday brunch getting ready for you. Nice carryover in that Rainbow Pick 6. So good luck. Tim Tulloch will be on with me this afternoon. Dave Robin's coming up next with all of today's changes. Good luck.
Good luck.